Welcome to Module 12. So now we're going to talk about leveraging VAs. What is a VA? A VA is a virtual assistant. This is somebody that can help you in your business as far as doing the behind the scenes grunt work, a lot of things that you may not want to do, such as reaching out to title companies, writing up contracts, making cold calls, and other things. A lot of times these people are going to be in other parts of the country. I mean, you could be South America, India, the Philippines, they can be all over the world. So it's really cool, and you don't have to pay them as much. That's another cool thing about it. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about with dealing with VAs is managing expectations with them, okay? What you're gonna do this when you first start off when you're talking with them. Even before you hire them, you're gonna do this in the initial process. Let them know as far as what you do, what you expect from them. The cool thing as far as the bonuses that they will get, you know, hourly pay obviously, and things of that nature. You wanna make sure that they're fully comfortable with the job, they can handle it, and that they're not gonna have a bunch of questions after you hire them. So again, make sure you properly manage expectations. The biggest thing with me when dealing with VAs is them having a background as far as customer service and or they have a very fluent English accent. They can speak the language very fluent. Nothing worse than you get on the call and they're not really able to speak English very clear. They are called in the United States. So you wanna make sure that these people can speak English very fluently. They're not having any problems as far as communicating back and forth with these buyers and sellers, just because of the fact of they will hang up on the phone very quickly talking about a seller if they're not getting the proper information over to them. When dealing with these people, again, manage expectations, hire and fire very fast when dealing with them, and don't be afraid to pay them. How you're going to manage the VA is a whole nother thing, okay? So once they started, now you want to manage these people. Again, set all the goals, talk about the goals again that you guys already talked about during the initial interview process. Let them know, like, hey, you're gonna be doing 1,000 calls a day. You're gonna be working from 8 to 4. I need you to at least get 2 to 3 leads in per week. If you do get 2 to 3 leads in per week and one convert into a deal, this is your bonus. You get X amount, $100, $250, whatever it is that you're comfortable with. But you do have to manage expectations with them. Make sure you stick to it very hard. Train them very thoroughly. Don't train them on anything that you're not good at. I will always tell you guys, if you're gonna train them to do cold calling, make sure that you cold call yourself. Make sure that you give them a call script too also, something that they're not gonna deviate from. And make sure, again, you take the time to train them. Spend the first day with them, role play with them. Have them go over the call script back and forth. You'll be the buyer, I'm the VA, and vice versa. Make sure that they're fully comfortable with it. Don't let them get on the phone until they sound very fluid. Don't let them deviate from the script at all, verbatim. I tell my guys, do not change any word, say it word by word. Don't change it at all. Once you get comfortable and you're starting to bring in leads, then yeah, you can tweak it slightly to make yourself feel, to feel comfortable with the whole situation. But don't let them change it up. You stick to it unapologetically. Just stick to it. Again, this is gonna help them not waste leads, because again, you're going to get VAs that's going to come in and they're going to try to say their own thing or try to pitch it the way they want to, and it's your business and you should have things ran and said the way that you want to do it. You are going to go through a good amount of people, and I'll be honest with you, before you find some good ones. Once you find the good ones, don't be afraid to pay these people. You're going to be dealing with a lot of times people want to pay VA $3 an hour or $4 an hour, and that's the expectation. But once you find a good one, don't be afraid to double up on them. Hey, I'm gonna pay you $6 an hour and I'm gonna give you $100 on bonus for every single deal that you close. If you closing 2 or 3 deals a month, just say on the average of, I don't know, 15,000 a piece, that's 30K. You can pay $6 an hour to somebody and $100 bonus on top of it. They're making you money and they're eliminating you from having to make all these cold calls. 1,000 calls a day is a lot. I've done it and it's a headache, but if you can remove yourself from that process and free yourself up to get out there in the streets and do what you need to do as far as knocking on doors or meeting with investors or meeting with agents or working on your rehab, whatever it may be, it's gonna help you grow your business. Your best time use is not on the phone. That's the VA job, okay? But again, it starts with you managing proper expectations. What's the goals? What's the bonuses? What's gonna happen when you don't do what you need to do? And also build rapport with these people. I mean, that's the biggest thing. When training them, let them know, hey, I'm gonna sit down with you once a week or twice a week. I know me personally with my team, it's twice a week. Mondays and Thursdays, we got morning meetings. We all get on the video call. Everybody get one phone call picked from the week prior, and we listen to that phone call. I don't really critique it too much unless they ask me, but I let all the peers in the room and on the video chat talk about it. You know, was it a good call? What made it a good call? Why it wasn't a good call? What you could have did different? And make it a game. Again, a lot of these people, they're going to be out of the country. So you got to find some other avenue that you can build a solid rapport with these people. Make sure that you do that. Like, that's the biggest thing. You want to make them feel just as comfortable to be able to call or text you if they have any issue. If they're calling out sick or, you know, whatever it is, you want them to feel comfortable to be able to talk with you. Let them know, like, hey, if there's anything that I can fix, that I can do better to make your job easier. Again, I mean, they really, honestly, you work for them, and your job is to make sure that they're happy. Obviously, you're paying them. The good ones, you're paying a little bit more. And don't be afraid to, you know, if someone finds out that they're getting paid more, like, yeah, I pay them more because they do more, they produce more. It's no different from you hiring somebody in the United States. If you can do a good job and you can take work off my plate, then yeah, I'm gonna pay you more. So, and you can explain the same thing to the other VAs. Let it be a motivating factor. It's no different. I mean, honestly, it's the world we live in. Money talks, right? So if you get these people motivated, you get them on the phone, you get them pushing leads, it's gonna work. There's no way it won't. But make sure that you give them something that's solid, that they can use every single day, and that you can hold them accountable for. Okay? So make sure that they have the script, they use it, you follow up, you monitor the calls when you have time. Myself personally, I have a head VA which manages all the other VAs. If there's an issue or she hears calls that's not good, you know what she calls? She'll call me. You know what I do? I text or call the VA and I talk to them. I'm not going to be hard on them or coach them or beat them up about it, but I'm going to just kind of speak with them with the importance of sticking to the script on why you should, because it costs money and it's wasting leads. And again, if you're calling thousands, a couple of thousand leads a day, I mean, within there is going to be some gold. So you don't want them to muddy that up. So make sure you stick with them, you stick them to the process. If they're not doing what they need to do, you get rid of them relatively quickly. VA is a very, very solid tool that you can use. They can write up contracts for you. You can have them following up with the title company. You can have them reaching out to sellers to make sure that you're able to meet them at certain times, or if you need to cancel on them, you can have the VAs do that. I have my VA to the point now to where she can actually call a seller and go over the contract with them if she needs to. I normally don't have her do it unless I can't, but I have her trained thoroughly to know a contract better than a lot of other wholesalers do. So, but again, take the time, train them properly, overpay for talent or the talented ones, keep them there before you can get out and you can do the things that's going to produce and make you money. The next thing we're going to talk about is having common ground with the VAs. It starts with the pay. I mean, that's going to be the common ground. So that's going to be the bridge to the common ground. So once they pay correctly, keep them motivated. If they ask for, you know, as far as bonus wise, if they need more, give them a valid reason or give them goals like, okay, if you want to make more money, this is the goals. This is what we're going to do. If you bring me 3 deals in a month now, this is where you're going to go to. Make them feel comfortable. Again, you're dealing with people that's overseas. You're dealing with them, you know, through the computer. But you can still build rapport. Don't just be strictly about the houses and business and things like that. Like, ask some genuine questions. Like, I know a lot about the Philippines now just because of the fact that I chat with a couple of my VAs about what's going on out there. I mean, everybody want to feel important, even if they're not important to you. I mean, talk to them, spend the time with them. I do it just because of the fact that I like talking to people at times. I'm a people person. Especially these people work for me, I'm gonna keep them happy. So I want to know more. They have family in Dallas, so that's cool. What part of town your family's in? So, you know, you want to do these kind of things, but have that common ground. It is a team. It's a team. Your business and the people that work in it, y'all all are working towards the same direction, right? It's nothing worse than we're all pulling one way and you got that 1 or 2 people that's pulling the opposite direction. It's a team. You want to keep it that way. Find that common ground. Whatever it is, make sure you keep them happy. To me, it's business. I don't know too many other common grounds other than keeping them happy, you staying just as loyal to them as they are to you, and making sure that you're not the only one that's getting paid, okay? So that's the biggest common ground when dealing with VAs, at least in my opinion. The next thing, goal setting. Super, super important. You should have your own personal goals, monthly, weekly, yearly, and it's the same thing with the people that work for you. Let them know. And again, it doesn't start from day one when they start. It starts during the interview. Let them know, it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you some goals that I need you to hit every single week. I need 1,000 calls. I need 3 leads to come in. I need to do 2 deals a month from you, or at least 1 starting off. Whatever it is, you find some goals that's very tangible and doable, and have them work it. If it's too high, then have them scale towards it. But you just can't give them the goal and just let them figure it out. You got to train them. Make sure that they fully understand. Make them know that they're fully capable. And there's a good chance they already know they're capable of doing it, but it's your job to be able to push them and motivate them to get them there. If you don't know how to do it yourself, again, find somebody else to help train them. I have done that on a couple of situations, but make sure that if you don't do it again, I'm gonna say it again, make sure that you have somebody else to do it, because that's gonna help your job. It's gonna eliminate you from having to keep on hiring and firing people. You wanna make them as refined, as good as possible. You wanna give them some lofty goals, and you wanna push. I mean, if you can get your VAs to close 6 deals a month, I mean, you should be making some serious coin right there. So again, it starts with the goal setting for yourself, then it trickles down to everybody, to them. Once they've been around long enough, another cool thing is what I do after 90 days, I let them adjust their own goals. Because whatever goals I give them starting off is going to be higher after the 90 days, just because of the fact that they can't come back to me with lower goals than what we really originally started off with. And if they come to me with some good goals, then great, I'm gonna come to them with a good bonus if they do hit these goals. So it's, again, setting proper expectations, scaling your business when dealing with the VAs. The ones that's not really good, or they ask a bunch of questions that doesn't, that's not helpful towards your business and your growth, then go ahead and remove them. It's that simple. Same thing you're dealing with people locally. If they're a cancer in your office, you're gonna remove them. If they're a cancer on your phones and they're talking to other VAs and giving issues and things like that, it will happen. I guarantee you, if you have enough of them, just remove them. It's that simple. Let them see, explain to everybody why they was removed. And again, you're building a culture. Even though it's over the phone and it's virtually, I have a mixture of people that's local and I have a mixture of people that's overseas. It's the same culture though. It's no different in the culture. If I can stop and have a beer with you and figure some things out, I'm gonna do it. If I had to get on the call at 10 o'clock at night because you have an issue on some leads, it's the same thing. Let them know you're approachable, build a culture that's pulling forward, and let them know that they can communicate with you at all times. The more that you do that, the easier things will be for you. The next thing, bonuses. We talked about it a couple of times already. Overpay for talent. I have no problem. $8 an hour, $5 an hour, whatever it is. I don't care. That's McDonald's money. If they're making you 15 grand on a deal, I can pay you $8 an hour for 40 hours in a week. I have no problem with that at all. But again, explain to them the proper expectations. If I'm paying you this kind of money, I'm expecting for you to do a good amount of work. I don't want to have to step in and change contracts repeatedly. I don't want to have to call the title company all the time. I don't want to have to keep on sending a bunch of emails. That's your job. At that point, you should have been around long enough. You know what you're doing. I'm bonusing you out probably on every single file if you're at that point. I want to keep you happy, but at the same time, in order for me to keep you happy, I need you to keep me happy, and I need you to do what you're doing. I need you to do what you're supposed to do. So it's that simple. Again, bonuses come from expectations, and it comes from you guys pulling the same direction, and it comes from everybody scaling. Again, after they've been around that long and you pay them that kind of money, let them set their own goals, and you can adjust it if it seems like they're sandbagging. But bonuses are really good. They keep them happy. There's nothing worse than having to keep on training VAs at the VA, at the VA, at the VA, because you're not paying them enough. I know some of you guys and girls is probably watching this video saying, he's absolutely crazy. I'll pay $3 or I'll pay $4 an hour. I guarantee you running through VAs. I know for a fact you probably are. So you want to pay somebody, even if it's a little bit more, if it's $5 or $6. Well, a lot of times, ask them what would make them happy if they're talking about pay, because you're going to get that. So if they're talking about pay, ask them what would make them happy. And if they say something that you can do it, but also give them something but give them some goals too also that they need to reach. Tell them, okay, for the next 3 weeks or the next month, if you can do this, this, and that, I'll bump you up next month to $6. You don't have to just give it to them, but make them work for it. Again, it's no different from you being at a 9 to 5 or you working for corporate America. If you want to earn more money, you got to put in more work. So make it the same way. Okay, guys, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is pricing. It varies, right? You can, try to find your own VA. You can post ads on Craigslist and other websites to where you can pay them $2, $3, $4 an hour, whoever you feel comfortable paying them. Just know you're going to have to do a lot more digging yourself. If you're seasoned at it, you know how to do it, great. For you newer guys, it probably would make sense for you to use probably a larger company to where you can get a resume, you can actually get a video of the person talking, and you can get 3 or 4 VAs to interview over the course of a couple of days, if not more. You want to be able to do that to give yourself some options. The biggest thing to me, I don't care about if they don't have any real estate experience. I want them to speak proper English. I want them to be fluent in it. And I want them to have some kind of either customer service base in the U.S. background, and or they're good at something like theater. I love to see personality in people, because again, you can teach anybody real estate, But if you can get on the phone and you can have some good personality and you can carry a conversation back and forth with someone, that's going to be super important. That's more important than anything else. And again, what you pay them, once you have them, that's on you. Just know cheap is not always good, and you're going to end up having to keep going through VAs if you don't pay them enough. And the biggest thing is, again, more importantly than pricing, is train these people properly. Super important. But again, backtracking, it's going to vary on you. Starting off, you newer guys, I definitely would suggest that you go with a larger company. It'll make it a little bit easier for you. I know you probably don't have the money, but I would probably say stay within that $5, probably $4 range if you can find that. If you want to take the time where you have somebody that can help you to go out there and post ads on Craigslist and do the interviews yourself, that's super helpful too. Just know I would think going that route, you're going to go through probably a little bit more VAs, just because of the fact that you're paying these people a little bit less. But either way, you're not going to lose if you train these people properly. You definitely make a good amount of money off using these people. Okay guys, and to close this out, Module 12, again, dealing with VAs is an awesome tool. It's going to eliminate you from having to do a lot of grunt work and a lot of things that you don't want to do. Make sure you train these people. Make sure they understand what your business is, what you're striving towards, and what they need to do. And again, it's going to start with you. It starts at the top. Manage expectations with them, not from day one, but even at the interview. Manage expectations of what you want from them. Make sure that you're handling, your goals. You talk to them about what your goal is for your company and what you're trying to do. Tell them how that relates to their goals and what you expect from them. Have them stick to the goals. Give them some bonuses. Overpay for your talent. You're not going to lose money on them. If you keep the ones, if you're paying them correctly, you definitely keep some. You keep them around for a long time, and it'll make your business very fluid. There's nothing wrong with having a VA with you for 3 or 4 years. I have done that, so and it's really cool to have. And they're very dependable people. They can be very loyal. Let them know to talk to you or come to you for any issues that they have. Have them critique what you're doing as far as if you're doing a good job with them, or if anything that can change as far as being able to grow your business. Don't be afraid to ask about your data, if it's crappy, if they're getting bad calls, how their day going, things of that nature. Always ask for feedback. Again, you really work for them more than they work for you. So you want to be able to build that rapport, let them know that you're around, and have fun with it. I mean, at the end of the day, have fun with it. I mean, these people are out of the country, and you let them know they can call and they can be whoever they are. They can be somebody in LA on a pool, or whatever. Just make sure that they have fun with it and that they're getting you a good amount of leads coming in. And and they vet these people out very thoroughly. And I mean, if you're playing it right, you run your cars right, it'll definitely get you paid having some solid VAs on your team. Get at least 3 of them. Get at least 3 of them and run through a good amount of data. Okay guys, so now we reached the end of the module. There's a lot of great content there. Look me up on IG at Marcus Gainer, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.